The Culture of Homelessness, The Changing Workplace by Jessica Jensen. My story starts with the father of Sebago, Ted Green, and Green Maple Farm. Ted has lived and grown up in town of Sebago his whole life. As a result of this, he has many community connections and was able to hook me up with the food pantry in Sebago, the warming hut, and several other community members that do outreach programs for people in need. This is Ted and my son Levi at Green Maple Farm. The first task was to find people that fit the requirements for the project. In order to do this, we spoke to many community members, but felt that the best place to start would be the school. So off I went. To my surprise, it did not take far for us to find families in need of a place calling home. For the sake of confidences, let's call this family the Joneses. See, my son went to school with a family and came home and told me of some of the needs that they had. Again, for confidentiality, will remain with the Joneses. The ages of the children were 6, 10, and 12, and they were living in a tent, going to the bathroom and outhouses, and using storage containers to do laundry. The family consists of 3 children, a grandmother and her daughter. The adults have a history of substance abuse, but are in treatment and were doing well. As a result of the past, the grandmother ended up adopting her 2 oldest grandchildren. Shortly after her significant other died, this left her alone and ill-equipped, which is where Levi, Ted, and I came in. First thing we did was call and utilize our resources to assess the situation. Plumbers, sheetrockers, the dump people, we had the well tested. We needed to establish if their current home was able to repair. Sadly, after analyzing things, we found it was beyond repair, which is why the family was living in a tent. So we went to Plan B, relocation. It was decided the children would stay with me or their mother and her boyfriend while we worked on finding a new place to go. Remodel time. Levi and I turned our living room into a bedroom fit for 2 beautiful girls, and his bedroom became known as the man cave for him and his buddy. Then we hit the floor running. I contacted every mobile home agency in all of New England to see what they did with their demo pieces. We reached out to community members, but school was fast approaching. So the next thing we did was get everything that the children needed for school by reaching out to Facebook and the community of Sebago. The response was overwhelming. The children got all needed items, from backpacks to lunchboxes to clothes, you name it, they received it, including my son. It was amazing to see what all of the children were able to receive from the community and from those who really wanted to help this family. While we were working on getting the kids the needed supplies, we were still diligently working on contacting all agencies in New England, including Habitat for Humanity, but day by day we were hitting one roadblock after another. This became very frustrating, and in October I became very sick and landed in the hospital. Came down with a massive infection and almost died. While I was in the hospital, though, I lent the family my car and my home so they could continue in their efforts to move forward without my illness hindering them. As Christmas got closer, relocation became harder and harder, so again, we decided to keep with the plan for the children to stay with me during the week and then go with their mother and grandmother to friends' houses during school vacations and weekends. Sadly, in January, things took a turn for the worse. The 2 adults and Ted and I, along with other community members, found ourselves in a very difficult spot. In an effort, again, to maintain confidentiality, I will be vague. As a result of the adults and safety concerns, the Department of Health and Human Services got involved. Due to safety on our part, we have been unable to maintain contact with the children, and the adults involved are currently undergoing some evaluations and getting some much-needed help. Though this did not end the way we had hoped, the children are safe and no longer residing in a tent, my home, or being bounced from place to place. There are several things I learned from this project. People don't grow up thinking that they're going to lead the kind of lives that result them to being homeless. I learned that the town of Sebago, though they are small in numbers, they are huge in heart, support, and taking care of their own. And I learned that some projects are just too big to take on myself, to listen to my gut. Please note that pictures and names have been changed in order to protect the children and the ongoing investigation. Thank you. Pictures and information have been provided by Jessica Jensen.